Hello and welcome, as it is the end of the second day of December 2018. My name is Derek, all bets trades and of the like within one's own risk reward. Let's start off with a little bit of housekeeping. I did a three-part series today that was over 2 hours in length, about 150% longer. I was hoping I was going to get this done in 45 minutes. I planned how I was going to do it, and it was just it was good information, but unfortunately, it was way too long, and there's not much more I can do. Near the end of the final part, I seen it was, oh my goodness, so 55 minutes near the end, it was like, are you serious? And the first part, 30 at the end, it just caught me off guard. So anyway, I want to make this quick, so let's get into that. Bitcoin, 5-minute time frame. Obviously breaking through some key levels of support in here at around the low 4,000 area, 4 in the third area, 40, 30 to 50. And decent sized move. This occurred at about 9 o'clock, 9:10, or about an hour ago. And therefore, we'll see how this plays out. Let's look at this on other time frames. Single hour, it's making a move back to this previous area where it came from. So you can look at this as like an inverted cup and handle double top-ish formation. For you have point A low, which is down here, point B high, makes the higher low. But then after this rally, making what is a lower high, but a decent rally nonetheless, making a few lower highs along the way. We got this low, then it was unable from the point where December 2nd started for it to break out. It had its opportunity this afternoon at about 3, 4 o'clock. It ultimately didn't succeed, as we can see failure amongst the 18 average of lows and breaking through there. Fast level to the area you'd expect it to go, which is where it came from, which is in the 39.5 level, and we'll even say down to 39. The range was between 39 to about 39.80. So it's already now made it towards that point, 4-hour time frame. It's is it going to go choppy? That's still a possibility. Resistance range has been established between 42.50 and 43.60. And breaking down below this level of support, it's pretty obvious where the price action should go to. Previous key level at 36. Breaking down below 36, as mentioned, I'm looking for this price to go to 3,000. And when we look at this on a daily term time frame, we're seeing, again, the 18 average correctionary phase. We're seeing what is now developing within weakness amongst the 18 average of lows. So breaking down below this, as you can see, I'm not going to be too optimistic for support, meaning either there's not going to be any or only on the short term, like the 5-minute and 15-minute time frames, or it's going to find support and maybe resist somewhere around 39, or maybe correct there for a couple days sideways through time, or 3 days, and then make that move that I've been expecting for quite some time. Not only short-term analysis here for 3,000, but going back over a half a year ago, I've been talking about the break of this level. That's where we would be heading towards. So that's the Bitcoin analysis. Let's now move on to some altcoins. And let's start off today's session within Golem, as this baby had a very, very nice rally today, going from 21 up to 27 and high change, or 27 and 2/3. Now correcting sideways, it has got a short-term range between 2,400 Satoshi and 25. But as we can see within the daily term, this is a market that managed to resist this previous area and actually have a good retracement, coming back down to this previous low at the 1884, obviously working out right now to be a decent buy at that point, since the market's up to that level. That's just one of the things that I like about technical analysis as far as buy signals. Whenever you have a key low, which is obviously the case here, a decent rally, that's the case. And if you're going to have a correctionary move and you see this go straight down and you're here, you're like, oh, where is it going to go? Well, key low, probably somewhere around 1850, because that's what this low was. You see a buy order at 1851, 1852 would have been about 50 points off the previous low. Great spot. to enter into that type of position. But throwing that part aside, since that low, it made its move to that 18 average. And Bitcoin's got the same weakness on the 18 low, so just keep this in mind as we're looking at this. But throwing that part aside, since the decline, it came back towards such, but it never did break below the established support at around 2,000. Spending a few days, and we can see, and let's just now go back to the hour of like a 4-hour time frame on this. Draw a line somewhere here, and even for that matter, I'm going to be guessing that there's going to be a key line that would be needed somewhere around here as well. But as the move would lie, it had plays getting above the 18, coming back. Yesterday's session breaking above it and continuation so far. Huge break to where, of course, where would you think it would go? Oh, this previous level of resistance at around 26.80 to 29. And looking at this on a single, 4-hour time, or yeah, let's even shorten it out here, because as we can see, this was a key level of resistance in here. And this line pretty decently drawn in for where it could go. Maybe let's just hair higher. But as we can see within market analysis, oh, it resists this only on that short-term level. I want to do the 5-minute now that I look at this. It comes up to it, spends a good half hour or so just congesting within this key previous high, and then after this little correction to the 18 on the 5, it breaks it and does it has to have a fantastically large up move. So that's what these markets do. Big moves up and you're going to get the decent corrections. You just can't look at it and say, oh my goodness, this market just recently has given back like 15%. No. How about retracement? Oh, it's given back about half of its move. That's how I look at it. And sometimes half of its move is going to be 15% on the 5-minute. Sometimes it'll be 1%. Let's next take a look at Mithril. I probably pronounced that wrong, but that's not what I'm in the business to do in pronouncing altcoins' names. And I got into this at the bottom because roughly like right down on here on like November the 26th. As I was just looking at charts and I looked at this and I'm thinking, this is when I like to buy when markets are just down. I checked CoinMarketCap to see its previous history and it gave me reason, yeah, it's a decent time to buy. And markets go up, markets go down. So decent down move, now it's having an up move. I don't know if this will be a top or not. It could be, it might not be, I don't care. Because I've already been selling on this move higher. I'll buy if it goes lower. I'll sell further if it goes higher. I've yet to buy back. Since I've bought in this, it's been sell, sell, sell. I think I've had 3 sell orders. Maybe 2. 2, I think. I can't remember. Either way. Let's take a look at this on a shorter term time frame because there's a lot of action within these types of markets. The 4-hour, there you see the downtrend, the water slide going down. There's your sideways maneuver. A little bit of this quick attempt that ultimately for the short run failed, but it never did break below this hold and stay below it. Yes, it broke below it at this timestamp 2300 hours, November 29th, but it stayed and held this key supported. Now we've seen 5 consecutive periods breaking out. It's well extended from the 18 average, but you can see we're going to need to shorten it out, but it's already had this move up to 3500 and has came back down to at least 29. So we've already had some amounts of correction just looking at that. So you still got to give this the benefit of the doubt that this could very easily have another 1, 2, 3 consecutive green candles up moving forward, or at least continue going higher without that much down correction. Although whenever a market has a big move, it's got to correct at some point. The 18 average is always going to tell me where my corrections are going to come into place, and I can see via looking at the single hour time frame they'll correct either through price or through time. And yes, there was a price correction to get it down from 34.52 to the 29. We'll see that better on the shorter term from this. But overall, this has been a sideways correction through like 6 periods. It is now met up within the 18 average of highs, almost making it official, although I hate that word official, but for what its meaning is worth, just a clarification might be a better word. And you can see it's a little symmetrical because the 18 average has got the uptrend line. You can resist these two lines, but you can see possibly breaking out above this. This gain could be decent. There's going to be a point A low. Point A low is in at 23.13. There's going to be a point B high currently that is in at 34.68. Highs and lows, tops and bottoms are known after the fact, and if this thing continues to hold within the 18 and then breaks higher, then this will not be the high, and it will be higher than that. But from the point B high, there's going to be a point C correction where ultimately any of these types of trend lines are going to break, and you're probably going to see price action decently going below it. And like I've stated before, whenever you have these kinds of moves, it's really important to hold the key areas where it came from and this 18. And this 18 is only going to start to show form on this daily here. But 2,500 up to about 2,700-ish or so is where I think the must-hold area is within such. So that's shortening out from the hourly to the 15-minute time frame. And we can see that this has been a very relevant chart within the 18 average of lows. So since this thing got going, this is what the market looked like. And I need to see volume a little more clearly. So let's just do this. There's nothing here to signify there was a move coming in here. Okay, no, volume wasn't anything out of ordinary. Little bit of higher volume, but continuation up. That'd be, you expect at least that kind of volume if it's going up. And then there you have it. Decent move, corrects the 18, breaks resistance, and it has a nice leg higher. It's not small like 25. It's not extreme, although for sell orders I like it when they are. And then it comes back to where it came from, back to the 18 lows, has a hit of previous key area, appears below previous high, and then supports the 18 average of highs for 4 periods, the last 2 deep within it and coming close to the 18 average of lows before it rallied, breaking above it. Fast move, breaking above resistance. That's normal. A little bit of correction in here again with the 18 average of lows at 1,545. Very large leg higher, breaking above 29.36. Of course, up to the current high right now. And since then, it has had continuation consolidation within the 18, enough where the 18 has flattened out. So it has delayed the upward momentum. It obviously hasn't reversed it, even though if I draw an uptrend line from this low, connecting all of the previous lows that hit within the 18 that it's have broken it, it's got to break below this established support of about 29.45 for me to consider that this rally play is over and we can start talking about point A low, point B high, and point C retracement correction. And what we're doing short term is establishing key levels. 5-minute time frame, we can see that support at around 3,000 is big, and if it breaks above 31.75, I'd expect a fast move to 33. And that's really where the big level comes into play when you see markets like this. Because breaking the resistance range of 33 to 34, especially after a nice correction, and as we see this on the 1 hour time frame was the one that, if it breaks above this resistance area in here, it could have a spectacular move going forward. Enough so that in the 4 hour you can start maybe talking about maybe having quick moves up closer to this 4,000 level, and having a fast 20-30% type of move is most certainly in play. But at some point, a market like this is going to correct, it's going to go lower, but we can see that volatility is extra. A lot of day trading available at this point right now, or at least there's 4% from the 18 average of lows to highs on this. That's not bad. And here I am making another video, but I'm not going to make this anywhere. It's going to be around 20 minutes probably. EOS, it's got an interesting short-term look, and even the daily chart, as we can see in here, that after breaking this level of support at around the 8,000 handle, it had a fast move. And as I stated earlier in this before, you have the situation of the kilo, a good rally, and there's a correction. So now that it's at the price action where the buy would be 7,000. Nothing has been done since then. I got in at 7,000. I haven't done anything since, but it's not a surprise even bearishly if it comes up to 8,000. Bullishly, then obviously that's just a low price, obviously. If this thing breaks down below the support, then it's probably going to have decent sized moves. You can take a look at this on a longer term time frame, see that if it breaks below here, and you'd want to maybe use other exchanges for this, like the Bittrex. But you got to be thinking that a decent leg lower from here. Maybe we might find support in this 5,000 previous low, but going below that, you got to be thinking that it's going to go well below 4,000. If, of course, that's the case, you have this point A high, and you would expect that you should have a little bit of support in this area, but if it doesn't, it's going to be a decent sized move. So anyway, back to the action. Again, the daily term time frame, it's been down, but there's a lot of interesting stuff going on short term. Let's take a look at this 4 hours, and we can see here it's gotten a little bit neutral within such 15-minute time frame. This is where things get a little bit interesting because of the pattern that I'm looking at, and that's for failed move, fast move. So on a day trading level, I think this might have the potential to have some decent gains. And this is short-term analysis when I'm looking at the hourly time frame. And this is a market that's trading right now on low volatility. So right now, this is looking like a play for something that might get about, oh man, not much, 300 or 400 basis points, maybe make it up. And that's like on a low level. If we look at this, say, on a 4-hour time frame, it could even extend up to the 76 area. So maybe you might get 9-10% out of a play like this. But as we can see within such here, I'm going to shorten it out some more. Failed move is when you break a key level of support. And right now the key level was 69.54. You make a decent size leg lower. Check. And then you come back to where you came from. Check. And you have that U-V-shaped formation. Check. If it's a failed move, fast move, I don't expect this to spend much time in this congestion area, which of course key range right now is 7,100, then a further range at 72 and a third. But I would expect within the next, either any time from now to the next like 3-4 periods, which would be the next 3-4 hours, for this thing to get above and start making a play. Let's look at this on the 15-minute time frame. And this is where it gets very interesting because we can see that very fast move lower in here. And then it does this consolidation, has that big fast move. I like how it's moved it sideways, and we got this green candle just barely breaking this level of resistance. 5-minute time frame just showing a lot of good information here. And there's that level of resistance that it established within the failed breakdown move, roughly around 68.88. And fast move there. Here we see again the ranges between 751 and 61. So now we're at 70.70. Let's take a look at this in the 1-minute term time frame. And it's just looking like it's ready to go off right now. This is something where I'm looking, maybe I should just make a day trade, come in, put a bet in. Unfortunately, it's 10:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I am going to be going to bed. And if I could find an easy way to have automated stop loss, automated sell for gains, and I know I can do automated sell for gains very easy, but then maybe I might do something like that. But this is just something to show for good technical analysis, like in a teaching tool more than anything. And if you happen to be watching this now, good luck. It's your own risk, own reward, of course, as I say at the start of every video. Let's next go turbo with a few other coins. OST against Bitcoin. We can see after this down move how it has been finding some nice support within this 18 average of highs. Clearly we can see this level of resistance in here at about the 700 or so handle, having right now a big 18 average of lows test. So this is big. So if it's able to succeed from there and you start to see price action breaking out above 679, 680, I like the mathematical odds that this thing, especially breaking out above 686, 688, that this thing is going to have a pretty spectacular gain moving forward. If not, then this thing maybe could flatten out or have a small or medium retracement. That's not a surprise either. But again, on the daily term time frame, breaking out above this, we'd be looking for price action, probably to reach near 800 and maybe even close to 900. So maybe trade within the 800s and possibly have a gain of about 20-25%. And when you look at this type of coin overall, I mean, you have moves like this. I mean, this is what I'm looking for. Just get the volatility. Obviously, down here is buying, sell up here, buy down here, all that type of fun stuff. But I'm going quickly. Let's go to the next one. Komodo, after this downtrend, was, well, it came down to 1,300 and change. after it have it move, breaking it above the 18 average of highs on November the 29th, spending 2 days within the 18 highs, but a breakout just in this really today's session. We take a look at this on a short-term time frame. This is where it gets a little interesting, as if it's able to hold this very key area roughly around 1670. Yeah, it's below the 18 average, but that's just merely where the key resistance is coming into place. On the single hour time frame, it is showing signs that it is breaking down from here. So coming into this range wouldn't surprise me the least, but if it can successfully find those corrections within such, as 1670 would be a correction within the daily chart as well, hold this 18 average, because like I've said so many times, when it makes this established move after a downtrend, come back in, it's got to hold where it comes from, hold the 18 on the daily like this. If it can successfully do so, you're establishing big resistance right now. It established today's session in that of a high of 1941. So therefore, if it can get above that later on, then you'd be talking again about going to 22 and all that kind of stuff. And since this is now 21 minutes, I'm now done for this video, and I'll be back with you in under 12 hours with the Crypto Day Morning. Take care.